Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live. You already know it's Wednesday. It's 6:30 p.m. and it is live tonight. 215 Boys in the House. My name is Paul Spencer. Of course, who do I have with me tonight, as always?
Cowboy Dave, what's up, everybody? What's up,
You
Cowboy
already,
Nation? How are ya?
you already know, Dave. You already know. Cowboy Nation's in the house, man. Listen, it's off season here. OTAs are happening, rookie camps happening, a lot of players reporting. But the one good thing, Dave, we won't get into all that because there's so much news to get in there. Just watching players. But the biggest thing with the Cowboys, we're healthy, Dave. Nobody's hurt. Nobody's hurt.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, the biggest one. As a Cowboy fan, Dave, we always sit there and think like, "Oh God, what if Tyron Smith goes to rookie minicamp or veteran minicamp here and he gets hurt? He does it every year, Dave. We don't know if it's going to happen or not. So thank God, he went there, but he's actually not practicing. He's just walking around looking
Of
good.
course. Well,
But
that's what I expect him to do. It's
hey, when,
fine.
when you're 15 years in the league, damn near, you're not gonna take off for veteran
Mm,
camp. You're not gonna practice. Dave. We already know
No,
that.
of
We already
course
know
not.
that.
He's too good for that.
Exactly, exactly. And the good thing is, Dave, we are healthy. And a knock on wood. I don't want to report tomorrow
Don't
afternoon.
jinx it. It's
Uh,
early.
yeah, I don't want to report anything tomorrow afternoon. Like Dave, oh my God, I jinxed this. Tyron
Uh,
slipped out of the bathroom. He fell on his knee.
oh,
Oh
please no.
God, yeah. But real quick, we got some comments. Real quick, Leland, thanks for checking out. I appreciate that. AJ as
Hey,
well. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate
hey,
that.
Leland, how are you? Thanks
Definitely.
for
Thanks for
checking
tuning
in.
in, brother. Appreciate that, man. All the love.
Absolutely.
Linda. Linda.
Linda.
Holy
Hello,
crap! It's Linda.
Linda.
Linda, how you been, girl? How you
It's
been?
Linda.
Haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
Yep.
But yeah, Dave, I'm just glad we're healthy. Right quick, that's a great thing. Has always been a Cowboy fan, but Dave, what I want to talk about. Leland says I'm doing okay. That's great, man. Hey, listen, that's all we can do is we wake up every morning.
Leland.
As long as we're breathing, we should be good. Dave, you got a
That
comment there, right to you?
Yes, Linda, I know. She's Dave, I know.
Linda says tired as hell and nonstop working. Hey, there you go. I'll tell you a little story real quick, Dave.
Linda's a hard worker, that
She
girl.
is exactly, and I got to actually talk about her. She's making these tumblers out there, Dave. Have you seen her Facebook lately?
Not lately, no, I haven't.
She's been putting these tumblers together with like these like collages all over. They look pretty cool. Maybe I'm gonna try to ask her to do some things for us. Try
Hey,
to get her
can't
involved.
hurt.
But
Yeah.
Dave, I'll tell you something. Like when I retired 4 years ago, I used to work 60, 70 hours a week.
hmm
Now being retired, I think I work harder being retired, actually looking for things to do.
That's the norm these days. People work harder before they really do. They work harder after the retirement. I don't understand it, but
It's weird. I look for things to do, Dave. Like I walk into a room. You see me on Facebook. I change my room every other day because I
I
get so
know.
bored, Dave. I get so bored.
Mm,
Linda says I have a Dallas one I'm trying to sell. Well, you might as well.
wow.
$60 for it? Okay, well, does it give us a championship ring? Because that's something I really want. I mean, we'll
Don't
talk
we
Linda.
all?
Exactly. But Dave, let's talk about one thing I wanted to ask you about. You know, of course we still need a lot of OTA moves and stuff like that prior to season, Dave, but I got it at the bottom
Mhm.
here. Let's talk still Zeke. He's in the unemployment line still. He wants that major contract where he's still looking between a $7 to $10 million contract. He's not worth it as a backup. He has to play
I
that role.
know.
But Dave, we haven't signed a big back yet. We go out and get Deuce
No.
Vaughn, a speedy, smaller, speedier Tony Pollard. We don't have that big back, Dave.
It's
What do we do?
Well, before we do that, going back to Deuce Vaughn, is he kind of like a Westbrook to you by any chance? What do you think?
He actually is, Dave. He actually definitely is. I mean, I love the kid, on our college football frenzy show, which will be back in 3 weeks.
hmm
I had him as my dark horse going into the Heisman Trophy candidate. But
Right.
the downfall with him, he's small, he's
I know.
speedy,
Yeah.
he's shifty.
Yeah.
He is a Westbrook, he is a Pollard.
hmm
He's that kind of a scat back is what I call it. But the thing was, he played at Kansas State, which was very, I don't want to say a bootleg division. If you can play college football, you're the man anyway, whatever you do.
I
But
agree.
he played in a lower division, lower class, Big 12, Kansas State. Nobody knows who they are, but he was a
hmm
one man show. But Dave, we need a bigger back, man. I mean,
I
I can
know.
just say two names out there. One I don't want, the other one I really don't want. Zeke and
There's one that comes to mind, but go ahead.
maybe a Fournette.
That's exactly the guy I was thinking about.
I
Right.
mean, those are the two biggest guys, Dave. I mean, we need that power back. Dallas Cowboys going back to the running game. That's why we went out and got
Yeah.
Shoemaker, Dave. A great
I.
blocking tight end, a pass catcher. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the
Yep.
ball, Dave.
hmm
What do we
I
do?
hear
What do
you.
we do at running back, Dave? What can we do? What can we do?
Well, like you said, Fournette's out there. I wouldn't mind that. I'd be okay with that.
But the thing is,
But
Fournette, he's Dave,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, but actually, I think he would fit in good here, Paul. Honestly, because think about it. Because if you have like Deuce Vaughn, and you have actually Ronald Jones too. Don't forget about him.
Yeah,
He's
he was
still in
from
there,
Tampa Bay too. He actually took
right?
over for Fournette a little bit, took a lot of his
Right,
carries away, then Fournette started flourishing again. But
exactly. I
but
mean, but with that, what I'm saying is, with that 1 2 yard punch,
mhm,
I think Leonard Fournette could be that guy. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
mhm.
You know?
Leland says wait till June 1st. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about coming up on the off season, that's when people are going to be in unemployment, like exactly like a Zeke, for instance. You
Mhm.
know, like Dave, I said in previous shows where nobody's really going to sign Zeke because he still wants that franchise money, which he's
Right.
worth it in ways, but he's got a
Mhm.
lot of tread off those tires. Number one,
And
and he has to accept the role, Dave, where he's not going to be the feature back anymore. He knows
yeah,
that. Look at
I agree
last year
with
with
that.
us, Dave. You know.
But I think at the end of the season, Paul, when we were getting to the end, I think he did accept that role because because Tony was getting a lot more carries than Zeke was.
Oh yeah, I
And
mean there was times
you
where
know,
you got to understand that we talked about it all the time, Dave. I call Tony Pollard. You haul it, we call it, he hauls it. Which they
yeah,
coined it. But my thing was Tony ran 20 to 20. Inside the 20-yard line to the
right,
20-yard line. Then
hmm
Zeke came in to expel him for the power. He
hmm
knew his
yeah,
role, but
right,
I kind of like if it's a $5 million deal, I'll go ahead and do it. Even if Fournette maybe a $3 to $5 million deal as a backup,
hmm
because Fournette doesn't have to be that everyday back anymore. He has
right,
Pollard, he has Malik Davis, he has Ronald Jones, so he would basically
yeah.
be the 2-3 running back, and it would be a committee running back again. I kind of like the move, but we need a big
Mhm.
back, Dave. We have to. We
And
have to.
I'm so with you on the big back. I really am. But going back to Zeke, as you were saying earlier, to me, I think Zeke. I still think Zeke goes to Tampa because them losing Fournette is a big thing. I think Tampa needs a running back. I think that would be a perfect fit for him down in Tampa.
Yeah, I think the best thing for him, Dave, is just waiting, just like Leland said. With after all the injuries coming, especially OTAs. There's going to be injuries out there. I mean, hell, you
Sure.
look at Aaron Rodgers, who was seclusion for 3 months sitting in the black room. He goes
hmm
to the New York Jets and he pulls a hamstring already. You know?
Yeah, well, that was a close call. They said that
Yeah,
they said he's okay. It was
yeah.
nothing to be major about. But you know how people are; they overreact. And
Mhm.
he said he seemed to be okay. So I'm
Yeah, I
okay
mean,
about
you
that.
never know. I mean, you're off season, you're going to Cabo like Zeke did before. Hell,
Yep.
if I'm going to the NFL and I'm playing 8 months out of the year, 6 months out of the year, whatever. We
Mhm.
usually play 6 months because we don't get that far, but
Well, of course.
but I'm going on vacation. Look, I bust my butt. I'm going on vacation. Hey, listen, I'm going to gain a couple pounds. So when I
Yep.
go into veteran minicamp, you know what? I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to make the team. You ain't going to beat me out of my position. I'm going to go in a little bit, heavy, whatever, whatever. I don't care.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
injuries are going to happen. That's when I think Zeke gets picked up, Dave. He's probably going to go to a team that we're not even expecting, honestly.
It could be. I mean, like I said, wouldn't it be funny if he went to Houston? I mean, the other guys went to Houston. Why not him? I'm just saying. I'm just saying because I mean, like we lost like 2 guys or 2 3 guys that went down to
Well, let's see.
Houston. So
Houston's about three
you
and a
know,
half hours from Dallas, so I don't
yeah,
think he would have to buy another house down there. But
you're
still,
right, right,
But
right. I
yeah,
got you. But no,
yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Who knows? I mean, it's still early in the season. Before anything gets really
Yeah.
gets
I mean,
going.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to it. But I mean, just like you said, with
Yeah.
the names out there, Fournette, maybe a Zeke is a possibility. Of course, I think we're
hmm
gonna wait until OTAs because the biggest thing is I'm scared with Pollard. I really am. I love the kid, Dave, but coming off that injury that he had, you know, he jump cuts so fast and his speed it relies on that ankle. We don't know, man. I know he's
But
going to be ready for camp, but Dave,
I
we don't
think
know.
I think they'll use it wisely. I mean, our coaches are pretty good like that. They'll know when to put him in, when not to put him
Oh
in.
man, I hope so.
I
I
mean,
tell you, because I mean, the way
you
we're
know,
looking now, we went out and got
with our
Shoemaker's a blocking tight end, so we're going to be running the
right.
ball, Dave. We're going to run the ball.
Yeah, but with our new offensive coordinator, Schottenheimer, I think like I said, I think they'll know what to do with Pollard.
Yeah,
He'll be fine.
Schottenheimer's a veteran. Schottenheimer's a veteran. He's a master of
Mhm.
the West Coast as well. He'll know what to
Yeah,
do. He'll run and gun it,
sure.
and he'll run the block too. So I'm happy with it. But
hmm
Dave, there is another name out there. This name still lingers to the Cowboys here.
Yeah, you know what?
DeAndre Hopkins.
I know who you're talking about. D Hop, man. I keep hearing things on him like the Cowboys are interested. He wants to go to Dallas. Let's get it done, Jared. What are we waiting for?
And
You
you know
know?
what, Dave? We always heard about that word. What is that word? Tampering.
Yes.
Not in the NFL too much, but in basketball, of course, we hear that word. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Now, I was on Twitter last week and I looked at this, and it was funny. Micah Parsons, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what the other player was. Three players. One was actually, goodness gracious, Donovan Wilson.
Oh,
They
that
were at
deal.
the game with D Hop at the Dallas Stars game. Now, I understand players understand, Dave. If you're a player, I'm a player. We're going to hang out. We know that, okay.
Oh,
But Dave, is this like lobbying for the players to say, "Hey, you know what? We want you. We want you. Take less money. Come here." Because
well,
just like Leland said, listen, Leland's bleeding it on the head. Hopkins makes a lot of money. That's going to cost the bank right there
you
because
know what? Yes, Leland, he does. I agree with
that's the
that.
thing.
But
I mean,
let's go back to when OBJ went to the Dallas Mavericks game with Dak and the crew,
yeah,
and
lobster mac and
right,
cheese for
right,
three
right,
hundred fifty dollars a bowl.
and we
Yeah.
thought that was going to happen, and that didn't work out. I mean,
Hey, well, in the
so
long run, he got $20 million. You know what I mean?
he,
OBJ
he
made out somewhere. So
does
hey,
that
I
blow
guess
your
that.
mind on him? I am so shocked on that. That threw
Dave,
me away. I
you
mean,
remember we talked about it, and I said this guy coming off that injury where you only want to play 4 or 5 games a season. Okay, you're
mhm.
not worth that $20 million. You're worth maybe a $6 to $8 million range for me. And my man broke the bank. He broke
Bank.
the bank. You
Well,
know.
it's what
Oh.
guys like that. He's such a great player. I mean, he's gonna,
Yep.
that's gonna
Leland
happen.
says great hire with Schottenheim. I agree. I agree. That's something we needed. It's a voice in McCarthy's head that
Mhm.
knows McCarthy's system. So I'm okay with it. I really am. I think it's going to
Better than
go.
the boy wonder, Leyland. Better than the boy wonder.
Oh
That's for
goodness! Don't get
sure.
me started with that kid. Don't get me started with
Dollar
Dollar
boy
Store.
wonder.
Jeez, you know what the funny thing is? The dollar store is not the dollar store anymore. It's a $1.25 store. So
I know.
he's
I
still he's
know.
still he's still dollar store bread. He's not new dollar store
Well,
$1.25.
anybody dollar store to me is still Danny Dollar Store down in New York, but he's actually Danny Millionaire now. My God, he got paid.
He definitely
But
did. He definitely
yeah,
did. But
he
Dave, I
did.
mean, what do you think? I mean, is this just a rumor or this? I don't think it's going to happen. I just think it's going to
I
be a
think the
rumor
D
for
Hop
everybody.
thing is going to happen. I really do. They've been talking about it for the longest time, and I think he wants to come to Dallas. So I think it's going to work out. It's one of these days we're going to wake up and say D Hop's a Cowboy. So we'll see.
You know, the thing is, Dave. I
You
mean, when
know,
you're a good wide receiver. I mean, there's wide receivers out there that I really feel bad for. Honestly, two that come to name. Well, three. One's retired, of course. Larry Fitzgerald. You know,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
player like that where his stature, like I've seen stats on him where he only dropped not even a 5% drop rate his entire
mhm,
career. That's something you look at, as a legend. You look at Devontae Adams,
yeah.
great wide
Another
receiver.
great.
But
Hmm.
I mean, wherever he goes, Rodgers made him. No, he goes to play Derek Carr, has his best yardage ever in his
Hmm.
career. Still no ring that. That's
Yeah,
the
but
thing. It's
great.
hard.
Not all the great players get rings, though, Paul. You know that.
No,
I
I
mean,
know that. Hell, none of my
I
players
mean,
see 27 years except DeMarcus Ware lately. 2 years ago, but that's
well, he had a Denver moment.
he did. He had a Denver moment. He had a
He had a
Denver.
Denver moment. That's all that was.
Yep. But when he
Right,
retires, he's
right,
going to retire
right,
a
right
Cowboy.
place, right time for D Ware. That's all that was.
Exactly. That's
You
what it is.
know,
I mean, but DeAndre Hopkins, I don't think he's going to take a pay cut because
no.
he's still not old. He's still not young.
Mhm.
He's still out there. And I
Well,
think he just needs to get away.
going back to Larry Fitzgerald, what you were saying earlier. You know what? I love Fitz. I'll tell you why. Because that guy's never left the Cardinals. He was a Cardinal for life.
Yeah.
I mean, his dedication to that organization was so amazing.
Hmm.
And he was a great, and no doubt, I mean, he's a great receiver. We all know
And
that.
his work ethic was insane. I mean, we all seen the Jerry Rice moments where he's running up and down the hill constantly all day long, doing sprints up and down the hill. Larry
Yeah.
Fitzgerald actually worked out with him, saying, "I want to be better. I want to do
Mhm.
this. I want to do that." That takes, and this was in the back half of his career too.
Yeah.
That tells you something where in the off season you're working out, and hell, in Arizona, it's hot as hell out there.
It
You
does get
know,
hot down there. Yes, it
and
does.
the other players that could care less, just coming to the league, or even veterans, they go away, enjoy it. I understand, enjoy it, but still, his work ethic is insane. But I don't think it's going to happen, Dave. I don't. I don't. I can't see it.
Was Larry Fitzgerald a Phoenix Cardinal too, or just Arizona?
I believe it was just the Arizona Cardinals because I
Okay,
know
I
he
wasn't
played.
sure
I
if he
know
was
he came out
Phoenix
of Pittsburgh. Yeah,
too.
he came out of Pittsburgh. Went to actually Virginia Military Academy. I think it
Okay.
was BMI or something like that.
Hmm.
Military Institute or something in high school. Yeah, then he
So I
went to
wasn't sure because
Pittsburgh.
remember they were the Phoenix Cardinals at one point before after they left St. Louis, they went to
Hmm.
Phoenix, and then they
Yeah, I don't
became
think it was there.
Arizona.
I think it was always the Arizona Cardinal.
Okay, I
If I'm not
wasn't sure.
mistaken.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, I
Okay,
could be wrong. Yep.
okay.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen, Dave. I mean, before we get
You don't
into
think it's
it,
going to happen?
no, I don't think.
Do.
I
I
don't think it's going to
do.
happen. I don't. Number
I
one,
just
just like
do.
Leland said, it's going to be money, Dave. I mean, you're still
Yeah,
I
I
believe he's
know,
still a $13 million receiver. I believe 11 to 13 million.
but he
And
wants to come to Dallas so bad. He does.
Dave, okay, if you want to come to Dallas, you know what? Hey, listen, you got to take that pay cut. You know what I mean? You got to take
Yeah,
that pay cut, Dave. You have to. I mean,
mhm.
we're
I
loaded at
know.
wide receiver, Dave. We just went out and picked up Brandon Cooks.
It's not amazing. I mean, I'm looking at these receivers right now. We have 7 wide receivers on this team.
Mhm.
Maybe even more than that I'm missing. But that's the guys I mean, from what I've
Well, Dave, you know
wrote
what?
down.
Since you brought it up, let's get into this real quick. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this offensive roster here. Okay, let's
It's
talk about it.
amazing. There's so many guys on this roster. It's sick.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Dave. We'll break it down here real quick. Now, of course, we didn't put the whole 93 people
No, of
on the
course
team
not.
here. We broke
No.
it down to basically your 1 to 4 starters rotation wise. But Dave,
Hmm.
let's talk about the quarterback room first. Okay,
Okay.
Dak Prescott. Let's talk about him coming off last year, Dave.
Yeah.
A good year, a bad year to us. It was
It
nothing
it
to me.
it wasn't a Dak year. We'll just keep it at that. It wasn't the same Dak that we know. My God, he threw so many interceptions last year.
In
But
half the games, Dave.
But
Put it
right,
out.
right, I get it. But and granted, in his defense, a lot of the interceptions were tip balls.
A lot of
And
them. A lot of them.
you know, I mean, the one, of course, and I mean, I don't blame quarterbacks for that. Balls tipped, things happen. That's
Mhm.
part of the game. But I mean, Dak did not have a Dak year by any stretch. I mean, what did he throw?
Not
22
at all.
touchdowns. I mean, I mean,
And
that's
about
that,
what,
that
15 picks? Yeah.
15 picks. That's a Dak average year to me. But
That's average? I thought he would throw I
well,
thought to me
you
with the
know,
weapons, I'm looking at a 45 to 50 touchdown year with maybe
yeah.
15 to 20 picks at the most.
I still think the injury was bugging him though. I just do.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that injury, Dave, because he
No,
doesn't run the ball anymore. His rookie, the
no.
4th year, he ran the hell out of the ball, getting out of the pocket. Now he looks to scramble, but when he scrambles, he throws that ball off the back foot. It's still a nice
Yeah.
ball, but it's still not there. I think it's a mind thing, Dave. What do you think?
He ran. I think he ran a lot in the playoffs, though. If you remember correctly, because he ran a couple in the
He
in the end
had to.
zone.
He had to. I mean, that's what they
Right.
gave him. The defense is going to give you
Hmm.
that look if you're not going to do it. If I see a
Sure.
quarterback that's not going to run, you know what? I'm going to make you beat me. I'm going to make you run the ball. Something you
Hmm.
don't want to do. I'm going to play. I'm going to play mind games too.
But we threw the ball how many times? 45, 50 times a game. My God.
That's the insane. That's the
I mean,
insane part of how many times we throw that ball.
and the Cowboys are known for running the ball, so it doesn't make sense.
That's why I think Schottenheimer is going to take it back to the old school day. It's going to be a West Coast
Yeah,
offense, of course, but it's going to be more of a Dallas Cowboy power offense where we're going to run the
yeah.
ball, which scares me because our next topic will be running backs. We don't have that big back yet, but Dak, of course, he's our starter.
Hashtag West Coast Cowboy. If you're listening to this show, run the damn ball.
Run the damn ball.
I got you, West Coast. I got you, baby.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, well, Dak Prescott, of course, we know he's a starter. Okay, he's the franchise look of the team. We already know that, Dave.
Mhm.
But we do have 2 quarterbacks back on the roster. Cooper Rush did take the hometown discount to stay with us, which I'm very
Good.
glad.
Yes.
It was probably going to be him or Seattle Sea Dragon Ben DiNucci.
Well, actually, congrats to Ben DiNucci, who got a job
Yes.
actually. With
And
the
he made it
Broncos.
yes, he made it to the semifinals in the XFL, played a great season, goes to the Denver Broncos. Now he's probably going to be in the practice squad.
Well,
But
he
hey,
closed the pizza shop's closed, and here we go.
well, it's not closed yet. It's not closed yet.
Well, not quite.
He's going to keep the doors. He put the paper up on the doors for now. Until he gets cut again, then the pizza shop will be open again.
Right.
So,
Well,
hey, Ben
congrats to
DiNucci,
Ben.
real
He
quick,
doesn't.
if you're out there, let us know because we would like you to sponsor our show here. Ben DiNucci's Pizza. What better way? Hey, listen, we love pizza. We love the Cowboys. You're a former Cowboy. So, hey, I'm going to reach out to you on Twitter there, Ben.
Ben, if you're watching this show, I wish you luck in Denver. I really do.
Exactly. Yeah, we always care about our Cowboy former players. But,
I mean,
Dave, let's talk Will Grier. Okay.
Will Grier. Oh, God.
Dave, I love this kid at West Virginia. We know he can throw the ball. He can run the ball. He's never really given a shot. He can run the West Coast. He can run a spread. But Dave, will he ever exceed Cooper Rush's second spot? I
don't see that either. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, he is 28 years old. He's been in the league, how many years? 5?
Yeah, but the tread on his tires, Dave. He's basically a 22-year-old kid coming in because he's really never played.
Right, this is true. I mean, he's been a third string. He's been a third string,
entire career, basically.
Right, exactly. My point. So, well, I mean, I don't think he'll take Cooper Rush's spot. To be honest with you,
no. Cooper Rush went 4-1 last year. You're not taking a spot.
No, not at all. But it's always good to have a third string.
Sure.
and Will's been with us for a while. He knows the system, so I don't see a
Mhm.
problem with it.
This will be his third year coming up, so he's okay with that one. But
Yeah, I think I'm okay with it.
now let's move on to running backs, Dave. Okay, so we know Pollard
Mhm.
had the incredible season last year,
Yeah.
franchised them, earned the money, coming off a horrific
Mhm.
injury, in our
Mhm.
conference game. But Dave, let's look at those running backs. We already know about Pollard. We're not going to really talk about him, the injury. We don't speculate what he's going to be. Let's say he comes back fine. But Dave, let's talk about 2 through 4 here. Malik Davis,
Yeah.
Ronald Jones, Deuce Vaughn.
Don't
Dave,
forget about yeah.
they're light. They're light running backs, Dave. They're light running
I
backs.
know they're all well. Ron Jones isn't light, is he? I don't think
He's
he's that
two
light.
215, but still, Dave. I mean,
He,
coming
but
from
he
a
runs hard
Seabrook,
though. He ran hard in Tampa. If I'm not mistaken.
Dave. What I look at is this division, Dave. This Eagles defense, their front seven is. I mean, you're looking
Yeah,
at about 350 all the way across the board.
this
The
is
Giants
true.
got bigger. And
Yeah.
hell, we know what the Commanders' defense is. They're huge pain.
Hmm.
Chase Young comes off that edge healthy. Dave, it's
Hmm.
it's a big defensive line division, and you need that big back. And
I
I can see these four, even Tony Pollard run through that middle. I mean, it's like a pinball machine. You get hit, you might just lose 10 yards off a bounce, going
didn't
backwards.
didn't Ron Jones do, didn't Ron Jones do special teams too at one point? Is that
I don't
or am I
know. I
wrong?
don't know. I
I
don't
thought
even
he
know about
did,
that.
but maybe
I
I'm
don't
wrong
know.
about that. But like I
I know.
said, we
I know
need
he
that.
played special teams when he was at USC because that's where he came
Uh,
from. USC.
right.
He
Okay.
was kick
Maybe that's
returner
what
at
I.
USC
Right.
because
Maybe
they
that's what I
actually
was
they
talking
actually called him like a slower version of like a Reggie Bush, honestly.
about. Right. I got
But
you.
nobody's Reggie Bush in college. He's the best player I've ever seen in my
Not
life.
even
No,
not
not
even
even close.
close.
Human
No,
highlight film. Yeah.
I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But let's talk about these running backs, Dave. I mean,
I'm
okay.
excited for Ron Jones. To be honest with you, I think he's gonna bounce back. I mean, he had.
Do
I
you
mean,
think
what,
he's going to be number two? You think? I think he's going to
I,
overtake Malik.
I think he might. Yeah, I do.
Okay. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
I
I mean,
do.
Malik had a great game last year. In our last game,
Hmm.
he ran the ball pretty hard. He scored
Yeah.
on a touchdown, which was great.
Mhm.
Glad to see him get in the end zone. But
Yeah.
Dave, I mean, where does my boy Deuce Vaughn fit in here? I think he's going to be
See,
special teams here.
I
I'm
think
hearing,
special teams.
I'm hearing
Yeah.
I'm hearing kick returner, Dave, with CD in the back.
Well, great. Then what happens to Turpin? You know, I
That's the
mean,
thing. Now I
what,
have Turpin moving up in the roster for a wide receiver. I think he's going to have a bigger game this year for us, which we'll talk about wide receivers coming up. But
right.
Dave, I'm still waiting for that one moment. We've talked about this every game, Dave. We always talk, we always text, we always chat during the games.
Yep.
Going
We do.
crazy. And the
Yep.
thing is, like every kickoff, Dave, might always say it's Turpin time.
It's Turpin time, baby.
It's
Let's
Turpin
go.
time. And I can't get him off the kick return team until he takes one to the house.
It's only didn't he take one in preseason?
Preseason, yes.
Well, I'm just saying he did. I'm just saying he did.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
What's going on, Mike? Speaking of Mike Laura, you can check him out tomorrow night, 8 p.m. for Locker Room Podcast, giving you all that Philly swag. So make sure you tune in him 8 p.m. tomorrow night, man.
Mike's gonna be talking a lot of Sixers tomorrow night, aren't you, Mike?
Oh man, listen, if you want to hear about that, get your popcorn ready, sit back, kick back, relax, put on your headgear. Mike's going to take you for a trip through the atmosphere on this one. Good
Mike's going to Sixers land. We got a lot to talk about the Sixers.
Oh my God, I definitely got to check that show out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But Dave, listen, I want to be honest with you. This running back is what scares me on this team.
It scares me too. But I think, like I said, Tony Pollard will definitely be number one. Ron Jones number two.
Okay.
And you never know. Maybe Jerry says, "Hey Zeke, I need you."
I think it's going to be a late. If we do, David, which we talked about, I think it could be a late season move. Not a late season move, but an OTA roster move where he's sitting there and he's like, "Oh shit, I can't get paid from this team. I can't get paid here. Nobody wants me." You know what? Maybe I'll take that $5 to $6 million and play the clipboard backup running back role. For Pollard.
And Malik Davis is going to be playing for a job too. So and don't forget about my man.
Leland says, "Thank God Rivers is gone." I don't even call him Doc. I call him Glenn.
Yeah.
That name. Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. Mike Laura, Cowboys are the second best team. I agree. I mean, it all comes down to being healthy. At the Sixers, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
Leland says, which we'll talk about in a second, CD Lamb is for a breakout season. I think he will because the pickups that we picked up in the offseason, Brandon Cooks,
I agree with that.
I think will suffice. But Dave, let's finish up with the running backs here. Okay,
right?
Yeah. I think Zeke, if he does come back, he's going to be a late OTA move because I think he's going to get a job no matter what, even though it's not with our team. somebody's going to get hurt in OTAs, Dave. It always
Somebody's going to need a running back somewhere on the line, and I think
exactly.
that's I would I love him back absolutely.
Oh, I would too.
I love Zeke. Everybody knows that I love Zeke. He's my
Mhm.
favorite player on the team.
Yeah, I want him back because I got to get my jersey back out of the closet. You know, I mean, once the
Well,
number's
me
gone,
too. I mean,
I throw it in the tote. I throw it in the tote.
I mean, right now I have to pick a new favorite player if Zeke's not going to be there next year.
All right, well, who are you going with, Dave? Who's your favorite player now?
I don't know. If I had to choose,
All
I
right, by
guess
the end of the
Lance.
show, don't give it to me now. Give it to me at the end of the show.
I'll give it to the end of the show. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait. Yeah.
I think I'm going to put my answer together. I think I'm going to see where we're at, but
yeah, it's good. It's tough. It's tough.
Well, Dave, let's go to tight ends here. Okay. Of course, you mentioned Houston earlier. Bye Dalton. Great player with us. I love the guy.
Dalton, good luck in Houston. I hope you do well.
Later.
I really
do.
Later. I'm just glad you're not in the NFC. That's all I care about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know what, Dave? I mean, he had his great advantages. Of course, we always talked about, I said it, the yak yards aren't there, the yard after catch. When he caught the ball, he just coined himself and just dimed out and okay, I'm going to get hit. Didn't run the ball anymore after the injury, just like, Dak Prescott. After the injury, he didn't run the ball anymore. But
that's true.
Dave, now, a lot of people, do you remember right before the draft, Dave, you and I and Matt, we talked about the draft. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but Dave, I said I didn't say the first round Mozzie, but I said 3 of the 4 people that were picking up. Actually, 4 of the 7 I called, didn't I?
You did call it. Yes, you did.
And I called 2, 3, and 4, didn't I?
Yep, you did.
I love this kid Schoonmaker. Not the biggest name out there, but he goes with the Schottenheimer system, Dave. Run the ball.
People are excited about this kid. I really am too. I think he's going to be,
Not the biggest numbers, Dave, but listen, I mean, you're talking about a great pass catcher that can catch the ball in crucial situations. He can block. He can move. And to me, this is like a younger, I don't want to say this, Dave, but I'm going to say it, a younger version of a Jason Witten, a blocking tight end is what I'm
know what? That's and he looks like Witten a little bit too. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying, but this kid, I mean, he's what is he, 6'4", 6'5"?
He's huge. I think he's 6'4", 6'5", yeah.
5, yeah. I mean, he's what, 250? My God.
Yeah.
Yep. Michael Deuce Vaughn was a steal.
He was late round. I mean, I knew he was going to go somewhere, but Dave, I remember the group chat. I said, what happens if Vaughn comes here? I'm feeling it. Vaughn is coming here. Vaughn is coming here.
And was he? He was a 6th round. He was 6th round, wasn't
he? 5th, 6th round, yeah. And the best thing was his story with his dad. That was the best story I've ever seen, Dave.
Yeah, his dad
called him on the phone. How would you like to come to work with me?
You're coming to work with me.
Wow, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. But Dave, let's talk about now. I don't think Schoonmaker is going to start. I mean, Dallas will run a lot of double tight ends. We know that. I think the odd man out here is McCune. I think
I have to agree with that. But you got I mean, like I said, this kid Schoonmaker. I mean, he's a Michigan kid. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's going. I mean, and we know Dak loves his tight ends. So
yeah, And I think we got a little spoiled last year, Dave, when we seen Dallas at their best when they ran the ball. Yeah, Dave, I've never seen a 3 tight end set and a jet sweep with a tight end in my life.
But I mean, between Ferguson and Hendershot, I mean, it's going to be a battle between those 3. You think about it.
It is. I mean, I think honestly, I think if Schoonmaker pans out, he's definitely going to exceed the number 1 spot. I think Hendershot's going to be the 3rd tight end, but we're going to see advantages where we're going to use all 3 at the same time. We know that. And don't be surprised where we seen it last year, going back to the Moose days, Dave, where we had always a fullback out there. Ferguson played fullback last year a couple times in our sets. Why not? He did. Put a double 1 tight end on each side and put one either Hendershot, Ferguson at the fullback position and run the pound the ball. Why not? You know what I mean?
I'm down for that. I mean,
I love it. I think it's going to be old school football, Dave. I think we're going to go back to the days, the big 3 here. You got the tight end, you got the quarterback, you got the running back. Of course, the wide receiver's a big 4, but going back to like the Novacek days, of course, Witten days, where we're going to run that ball with a pass blocking tight end. That's why I'm really happy about Schoonmaker.
My concern is about this offense is are we going to be? Is it going to be the same kind of offense where we did put points on the board last season? I mean, think about it. Is this that kind of offense that's going to do that? I mean, are we going to?
Dave, I don't think it is. I mean, we all looked at McCarthy's comments saying, yeah, it's great to score points, but do you win games scoring points? No, you win the game by keeping the opponent down. That's why this defense is so nasty, which we'll talk about the roster there. But I don't think this offense is going to put up that average 28 to 35 a game, Dave. I don't think so. because
That's what
our
we're
ball.
used to,
But Dave, you got to remember this too. I mean, when we get down, we throw the ball like crazy, which
Yeah.
killed us a lot last year.
Yep.
Run and gun, constantly throwing the ball. Dak 35, 40 times a game. Hell, last year I think he had one game was 52 passing attempts. One
Yeah.
game.
As I said,
You,
Dak throws the ball 45, 50 times a
you're
game.
not going to win with that, Dave. You got to go
No.
old school and run that ball. You get up a 7-point lead. That's what scared me a lot of times. Where well, Kellen Moore, we're up 7. Okay, run the damn ball. Four times or 3 times 4 is 12 yards. That's a first down every set. Run the
Yep.
ball. Run the ball. Now we come out, we throw a screen pass on first. Next play, we run a dart here, a 9 or a 7 route, whatever, a crossing route. Why? Run the ball. That's where I think Dallas is going to try to keep this game down in points. I think it's going to be – we're going to score 20 points, maybe 20, 25 points a game, but it's not going to be like it was, Dave. I don't think it will. That's my opinion.
I don't want to see a lot of games 24-23, 28-24.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope our defense can hold for the most part.
Now, Leland, I agree with this 100%. Vaughn will be a special team stand I agree. I mean, the little kid is so shifty at playing running back at Kansas State. This kid was so shifty. I had him as my Heisman dark horse in week 1, even preseason of college football last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's that good. He's shifty. I love it.
I'm sure. Hey, Leighton, I'm sure Schatz has a perfect plan for Deuce. I'm sure he does.
I mean, I can see. I think he's going to have a couple packages, Dave. A couple plays in a package where he comes in. And listen, you got a person like a Devontae Turpin. Devontae Turpin in the backfield. You have a person like Deuce Vaughn. That's a speed package. That's called, to me, Dave, I coach up here.
That's a lot of speed.
We call it a NASCAR package, okay? Where my guys, I coach 11 to 13-year-old kids. We have little banners up. And one of my coaches put up a NASCAR. All I say is NASCAR, let's go. He holds it up. Here comes my NASCAR team in there. And you better look out because they're running, 9-second, 10 flats. That's what they're doing. But we always draw fans of different teams here, Dave. You know that, right?
We always do.
We always do.
Here we go. Hey, Stace, what's up, man?
There you go. You can check out Stacy, great friend of mine. I've known her for, I'm not going to say how many years, but it goes back like 3 decades, basically, probably, but a little bit more maybe. But you can check her out every Friday night, Big Blue Power Hour, talking all New York Giants, of course, with Dan and Evan as well.
And actually, we'll see those Giants week 1. So
yes, we will. Dave, I think we're still talking about trying to get to that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah. Yeah,
we are. I think
definitely
215 Bulls will be making an appearance somewhere up there in the middle.
We're going to give it a shot.
We're going to give it a shot. I said, Dave, listen, I just don't want to sit up top because I don't want anybody to throw you off.
No, I've been to that stadium so many times. They all know who I am by now.
Of course they do. What are we going to? What do we always yell, Dave? It's one of our hashtags that I put up there for you. What is it? Where's Rico?
Where's Rico?
Does he make the team, Dave? Real quick.
I think he does. I don't think he does. Yeah, I think he. Well, practice squad. He'll be on the practice squad.
Okay, practice squad. That's still part of the team. He gets to keep a jersey. All right, Dave. Let's talk about this.
If a running back goes down, Rico's going to be the next one up. So I like that.
Well, we can always say every week. We can always say, "Where's Rico?" I think we're going to.
And don't forget about my man Malik Davis too. I like him.
He's top 3 in our committee right now. So
I'm a Malik guy too. Yeah,
I like him. Last year he showed me something.
But he runs hard.
Let's talk about the wide receiver room here, Dave.
Here we go.
Now, the biggest acquisition that a lot of people are like, "Oh, why?" He was rumored to us last year, but the money was way too stiff for us last year. Couldn't go get Brandon Cooks because the money he wanted 16 to 17 million a year. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So. We all know the Texans are pretty much tanking for the Bryce Young. They want to get rid of a lot of players. So guess what? We got Brandon Cooks at $11 million a year, which is a great asset. Dave,
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry, for getting Brandon Cooks. I think that was a big deal.
I agree. And to me, Dave, yes, he's not a youngest wide receiver. He's not the oldest wide receiver. But Dave, this guy can take the roof off on any play.
But he's got great hands and he can fly and he can run. That's for sure.
And with the bootleg quarterback last year, I hate saying a bootleg quarterback, but you had, what was his name down? I forgot his even damn name in Texans anymore for quarterback last year. But I forgot what his name was. But he had 1,000-yard season last year, and he won it out last year. So that tells you something. He still balls out. no matter
Well,
what.
it's funny. I was looking at the interview with Brandon, and he said
Mhm.
he goes he's been working with Dak. He goes, man, I've worked with a lot of quarterbacks, but Dak can throw that ball. He's like, I'm excited to work with Dak, so I'm excited to
Yeah.
see it. I can't
I
wait.
think that's
You
great. I mean, you
know,
look at the wide receiver room, Dave. I mean, a lot of times we know we go three wide, Dave. We know that a lot. We usually
yeah.
run one linebacker, one tight end, three backs, and it's
Mhm.
usually like spread out gun.
Yeah.
Think about it. You got CD now, Dave. Think about this. CD is best in a slot because it's a
Yes, he is.
mismatch. It's a mismatch with a dime safety, a dime corner comes in, or
Mhm.
even a linebacker. A lot of linebackers try to stick him. He goes
Yeah.
back to that natural position in the slot where he played at Oklahoma. Incredible, incredible on the slot.
It's,
Now you put Cooks on the outside, and you go back to Gallup. If Gallup comes back healthy, Dave, this
mhm.
trio of wide receivers could put up. I don't want to say it early, Dave, but I'm gonna say. You know what, Dave? The hell with it. I'm gonna
Say
say
it.
it.
Just
I'm
say
gonna
it.
I'm gonna freaking say it. Okay, this year, Lamb, 1,000 yards.
Yep.
Cooks, 1,000 yards.
Yep.
Gallup, 1,000 yards. I'm
I
calling it
love
now,
it.
Dave.
I
Calling it
love
now.
it.
Calling it now.
I'm
Calling it now,
telling
Dave.
you, and you got to remember too, Michael Gallup coming off the injury from last season because he wasn't 100%, and we all knew
No,
that.
no. I mean, you can tell,
You
Dave. You can
know,
tell his get up wasn't there. I mean, even
and
in week 6, his get up wasn't there. He came off the ball a lot of times trying to make that,
mhm.
and it wasn't there, Dave. It wasn't there. They
And
rushed him back way too fast.
the thing about Gallup is, my God, the guy can jump like a gazelle. My God, he's so good, and he's
Mhm.
good on the run too, and he off the catch. So I mean,
Very true. Very true.
Dak has so many options, and that's what's great about it. You
Mhm.
know,
Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think the wide receiver, this class of wide receivers that we have here, and I mean, Jalen Tobert's in his second year. Last year, he didn't even
oh,
see the playing field.
lost you.
Great high, great. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
losing you.
Oh, no
Okay, you're
problem.
good.
There. Yeah, Jalen Tolbert. I mean, he's second year this year. He's a high flyer, of course.
Yep.
I love the kid. When we drafted him, like, wow, this kid's another natural high flyer. He can pinpoint
Mhm.
balls. He's just like Michael Gallup. Speed, high point,
And
great. And
don't
Dave,
for, don't forget about
Devontae
my man
Smith.
though. Don't forget about my man.
Oh, go ahead and bring him up. Go ahead.
Sammy, you gotta love Sammy, baby. Sammy's my man.
Dave,
Sammy Gioco.
I love this kid so
I
much. And
love
actually,
Sammy. How can you not love Sammy? Sammy's
now,
great.
Dave, I was very high on when we drafted him. I'm like Simi Fiacco, 6'5" out of Stanford University, great
Mhm.
red zone threat. But Dave, he doesn't see the field in this offense. He
I
doesn't
know,
see the
but
field.
Sammy is Sammy. You got he's that guy you forget about. I mean, Dak finds him every once in a while, but
Yeah,
he can't get.
exactly.
He's good.
And the
He's
great
very
thing
good.
is, Dave, we have another Fiacco on the team this year, which we drafted on the defensive side as well.
Great. Just what we need. Two Fiacos.
Exactly. And they both actually look alike. I mean, Simi's, of course, he's like the smaller version of the wide receiver. The other guy's
Right.
a D tackle, but it's like an image of them, but one's 350 and one's 180. You know what I mean? It's
Hey.
insane. But I mean, this wide receiver class I really love. I really love this wide receiver class. I think
Where?
we're gonna be good. We're
Wait.
gonna be
Wait
okay.
a minute. Where does that leave Dennis Houston though? That's right. My question.
I didn't even put him on here, Dave. I mean, he's second year as well, but I
Right.
think
And
he's going to be maybe a special teams, maybe a backup role. He'll
you
make the team
think?
because I think we're going to keep 8 wide receivers. I really think we're going to keep 8 wide receivers this year. We have
Okay.
to. We
Okay.
have to. That's my opinion.
Hmm.
But I think he's going to be a backup role, maybe
I
slot
mean,
7,
but
maybe 8.
if you remember, Dennis started last year, the first game of the season, if you remember correctly.
But he did because Gallup wasn't ready though,
Gallup
too.
wasn't ready. Right.
So
Exactly.
you're gonna. I
Yep.
mean, hell, I think we talked about it last week. Week when we did the video, week 1. I think
Hmm.
he had like 6 catches for like
I
70
think,
yards.
yeah, something like that.
You know,
Yep. He
but I
did.
mean, he was
Yeah.
thrown into the role. He was just thrown in because Gallup wasn't ready. Of course, we know that.
Yep.
But
Yep.
Dave,
Exactly.
now let's talk about something that is very scary to Cowboy Nation every
What,
freaking year here.
what's
Let's
that?
talk about that offensive line.
Oh, don't even get me started with that.
Now, Dave, when healthy, top 3 in the NFL. When
Yep.
healthy, Dave. Okay.
The two Smiths. That's what I love.
Well, let's talk about the one, Dave, that we don't really like to talk about. We love talking about it, but we don't like talking about what usually happens. Is the
Well, it's the one Smith we have to worry about. The other
like
one is
Tyron?
only second year, so we're okay.
Yes, let's talk about Tyron Smith here. I mean, all decade, all world, all universe team. We know that, Dave. But the problem is, he is our Sean Lee of the offensive line. Great player, but
Yep.
he gets hurt too easy, too fast. And the number one word, 2 words, too often. Every
Yeah.
year we know he's going to get hurt, Dave.
It's Tyron. We expect it. It happens.
But Dave, imagine if he stays healthy for 17 games plus the postseason here. Tyron Smith next to Tyler Smith. Good God, is there any bigger
It's
left side in the NFL?
It's unbelievable. It really is. I'm just glad Tyron's still back. I mean, him not leaving or anything, and because they were talks that Tyron was going to come back.
There were talks about being cut. Walking
right.
away.
I know, and I was when I heard that I wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Tyler Baez, the center, he's still learning. He's still good, Tyler.
Tyler from Wisconsin. That's what I call him.
Yep. Travis Frederick's replacement in college and in the NFL
yes,
as well.
Yeah. I miss Travis. I do.
I do too. And we already know about Zach Martin. He's all world, all universe. Mister. I don't give up sacks. Everybody says Lane Johnson too. Yeah, I understand that, but Zach Martin is the same damn category.
I know. Mr. Notre Dame himself. You gotta love him.
You already know about that Notre Dame team, Mr. Zach Martin.
He is he is such a breath of fresh air. This guy.
He definitely is.
Where would we be without Zach Martin on this line? Seriously,
Dave, it's funny. We always talk about in the group chat. When a player goes down, and I think it's like when one of our star players go down, and the defense is like if Parsons gets winded or whatever, we always say, "Oh no," and the other one on offensive line is Zach Martin. It's like, "Oh no, is he okay?"
Yeah,
and then one of us say, "Oh, he's okay, he's walking," and then we're like, "Yes, thank you."
There's just times where we all hold our breath when Zach gets hurt. It's like, no.
Last year he came out of the game with that thigh injury, that leg
injury. I know. But Zach's a beast, man, and if you watch his interviews, he's such a nice guy.
He is. He's always been well rounded, even from back then.
Yeah, I mean,
But my person, Dave, that I love so much. I wanted to go down to Dallas and drag him out myself. But last year he proved something to me. Terrence Steele.
See, that's the funny you should say that. Terrence Steele. First year we were all like, oh no. Then all of a sudden, last year he had a great season. I mean,
yeah, that was the offensive line we talked about. What is the weakest link in this offensive line? Oh, it's Terrence Steele. Right
Terrence
tackle.
Steele. Yeah.
He turned out to be one of the best right tackles in the NFL last year, Dave.
It's amazing. What a 360 he did turnaround.
Agree. And he's coming off the injury, but he's had almost 6 months to recover from it. It wasn't a horrific injury. He'll be fine. I love this offensive line, but the key word, Dave, is healthy.
That's the whole thing. We got to stay healthy.
And we need a little bit more depth, Dave. I mean, we went out and got Chuma Yoga. He's great from the Jets. We grabbed him. I love him. Great plug and play player, and he can play that left guard. And he can.
That guy is huge. That's a big dude.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, Dave. I'm thinking man, can we get this guy to play center?
Yeah, exactly.
You got Tyler Smith 325. You got Tyler Smith at 330. Then you put him at 340. And then Zach can be 180 pounds. He's all universe. We don't care. Terrence Steele at 325. Dave, you're talking almost a ton of leverage in this game.
Hey, as long as they're protecting Dak, I don't care what happens.
That's what I think. Is you got this offensive
keep my quarterback healthy and keep my quarterback not touched. That's all I care about.
Now, Dave, before we go into the defensive side of the ball real quick, we'll talk about that briefly here. Give me one player on this offensive line, this offensive set right here, that you think is going to be MVP caliber this year.
I'm going to say Tyron Smith.
No, I'm talking like MVP candidate. MVP candidate though. Overall.
Oh, for the team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the NFL. I mean, let's go NFL.
The NFL. I thought you meant. I'm sorry. I misread you on that. The NFL. Oh wow, that's tough. Oh my
God.
Give me
one player.
There's a lot.
I think I have one, but that's probably going to be it.
Wow.
I don't think it's going to be MVP caliber, but I think I'm going to put it this way, Dave. Let's rephrase that. Let's go MVP of the offense for the Dallas Cowboys.
MVP for the offense for the Cowboys?
Yeah, let's put it that way.
CeeDee Lamb.
I agree. I think CeeDee's going to have the best.
CeeDee Lamb, absolutely. That's not even a question in my mind.
I think the field's going to spread for him a lot more. I think his yardage is going to be a lot different. He's going to be on that one-on-one coverage where it's probably going to demand that third corner. And a lot of teams, they don't have the true three corners.
If you say an MVP in the NFL, that is so hard. I'm going to say the kid from Cincinnati, the quarterback.
Oh, Burrows?
Joe Burrows? Yeah, I think he could.
Okay.
I think he could step up this year, have a good season.
I think so. All right, well, let's move on to the defense here, Dave. Let's talk about the defense here. Now, this is the Dallas Cowboy bread and butter right here, Dave. Good God. Let's talk. Let's talk about corners first, Dave. Let's talk about corners.
I am so excited about this corners. I really am. I love Gilmore. I just
Dave, a lot of people, we talked about it, are like, oh, why this guy? Listen, he's not the true shutdown corner. But you got to remember, this guy can still play ball. He still can play ball at the highest level of his life. Great pickup. And the thing, Dave, we didn't break the bank. We didn't go out and get Ramsey.
No, we didn't.
We didn't go get Ramsey $20 million like Miami did. We didn't do that. We went out and got Gilmore for $7 million a year, Dave. $7 million.
I
cheap.
know that's a steal if you ask me.
Mhm.
But I think the odd man out of this cornerback, I hate to say it because I love him. Jordan Lewis might not be there. You know.
That's the guy. I think here's what I think, Dave. I think Kelvin Joseph. I have him listed at 3 right now because he's a veteran. And this is going into camp, Dave. This is going into camp.
Okay.
But to me, I think that okay. When we play the Eagles, of course they have 3 wideouts. We already know that. A lot of teams are running 3 wides, of course. This is where one name on that list comes into play, Dave. Deron Bland.
Bland, your boy, you were talking about last season. Yeah.
Dave, you know how hyped I was about this kid. Nobody knew this guy's name, and I was like, "I'm telling you, watch this kid. He's going to start some way in
I,
next year. And look, third in the defensive rookie of the year, Dave.
I think we were in like week 7 or 8. You brought him up, and then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden he stepped up like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ron
Stacey
Bland.
says you love a good corner. I think she's joking around with me in some kind of ways there.
Oh, Stacy.
I think so. But Dave, let's talk about it. Okay, Trayvon Diggs. We already know what he is. Okay, yes.
No.
Stephon Gilmore, great outside, on the left side there. And the great thing is, I said this to a lot of you and Matt last year. Watch Trayvon Diggs. He doesn't rotate side to side. Okay,
No.
he did last year a little bit. He started doing that. Gilmore does the same thing. They follow wide receivers. Deron Bland follows wide receivers. So now you have your top 3 corners able to play the slot, play the outside, play the X, play the Z position. They can play all 3 positions, which is great. Something that we haven't had because I gotta say something to my man Joe Sullivan out there. Joe Sullivan coined Kelvin Joseph the castaway.
He did?
Yes, because this dude is lost on the island. Okay,
he is. Yeah.
He's lost. I mean, this dude couldn't catch a cold. Okay, he couldn't catch a damn cold. And coming out as a 2nd round pick, Dave, 2 years ago, 2nd round pick, Kelvin Josephs. And I hate saying it, but you remember he was in so much legal trouble with the so-called murder case.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Remember, which was all cleared up. I think, to me, I hate saying this, but he's an NFL player, but he worries more about his rap career. You've seen his rap career, right?
I don't think I have, but I've heard about it.
Fat Man Boss or something like that is his rap.
That's right, Fat Man Boss. Okay.
Like, come on, man. How about you take that time when you're in the studios rapping about? How about you make a real song like "I can't catch a damn ball," or I can't cover that.
I can't cover anybody, right?
I can't cover anybody. I got the money, but I can't cover this. Let's come up with a song that reflects your damn game. Joseph. Come on. But Dave, there's one name on here, Eric Stott Jr.
Does he make the team? Is the question.
Yes, he makes the team. Yes, he makes the team.
Gotcha.
He's cheap, Dave. He's still like $2 million a year. You're going to keep him as insurance money. We already know that.
Sure.
And you have to have 6 solid corners in the league now. But the one name, Dave, I think Deron Bland overexceeds Kelvin Joseph. I think Kelvin Joseph goes in back of Jordan Lewis. I really do.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I think Eric Stott, remember this name, this kid is a nasty corner.
Eric Stott Jr. Junior.
Ball hawk. I love this kid. I think he's like in the category of Deron Bland. I think he's going to have a great year. I love this kid. I mean, not a big household name, which a lot of people don't even. Who the hell is this kid, Eric Stott?
Eric Stott.
I watched a couple games of him, but Dave, he's a ball hawk, man. Size, and he can move. I'm not projecting him starter this year, next year, but I think he's going to be a solid, maybe a dime guy. And there's projection. Maybe he might even move to the safety position. But,
so this kid's up. So in your eyes, this kid's up and coming.
I think he is. I think we got a solid corner. Maybe you look at maybe a Gilmore 2 years down the line. Maybe Stott plugs that position right there. I really do. Okay. But there was rumors of him going to safety. But Dave, let's talk about this safety room. Good God, the signing of the year to the Dallas Cowboys, Donovan Wilson. Signing of the year.
You God, that was the signing. We were all scared. We were all nervous about that. We didn't know he was coming back or not.
And he took less money, Dave. That tells me something.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to stay in Dallas, though. I saw the interview with him. He did.
And there was something on Twitter where he said, I'm back in Dallas. I can't wait to be back here to sign my deal. And he's like, what better way to work with one of the best coaches in the game, Dan Quinn.
And you're saying we're healthy. Is Javon Curse healthy? Because I remember he was hurt last season.
He was hurt, but I think he's going to come back pretty damn healthy.
He played every. Yeah, he may have been hurt, but he still played.
I think he's great. I mean, there was a lot of times where he got hurt, but he's a
what a player this kid is. What a player. Javon Curse is God. The kid's just like doesn't say die. He just keeps playing.
Speaking of Joe Sullivan, I knew he would chime in right there. We just talked about the John. I don't know if you listened to it. I said I got to give my boy Joe Sullivan some credit. We talked about this guy. He is the Castaway. How's my boy Castaway going to do next year? We just talked about him.
We just talked about him.
I think he's going to be probably the fourth or fifth corner on our team. I think the rookie oversees him as well. But you know what? I think you got to keep him. He's insurance money. He's cheap money. But I just said, hey, maybe he should focus on doing a rap song called "I Can't Cover Any Damn."
I can't cover anybody.
I can't cover anybody. I got the. What's the song? I got the money, but I can't cover
anybody. You know, there you go.
Make a song. Dave,
I got the money, but I can't cover anybody. There you go.
Dave, you are like the rapping cowboy, Dave.
There you go.
Say it again.
I got the money, but I can't cover anybody.
Yes, there we go, Dave. We got to clip that and put it on there and tag that son of a bitch. That's what we got to do, Dave. But Dave, let's talk about Javon Curse comes back healthy, which is a great asset. Okay, and still we have Malik Hooker too. He's getting.
Yes, we do. Don't forget about Mr. X Falcon himself.
Yes, he's a great asset to the team. He's getting older in age, but he's still a veteran presence in the back.
But he's a Dan Quinn guy, you know.
100%.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing is, we're going out to get the players that fit Dan Quinn's system. Dan
Quinn is going to make this defense outstanding. I cannot wait.
Yep. Now let's go here. Now we usually at linebacker we have one guy's name there. 7 from heaven, which we're going to talk about him a little bit later because it's going to be a
7. 11 from heaven.
11 from heaven. But Dave, let's talk about these linebackers. Let's start with the elephant here in the room. LVE.
It's funny. He just keeps coming back. It's
middle
so
linebacker, Dave.
I mean, we signed him 1 year last year? Was it 1 year?
1 year. Now he got a 2-year deal.
Now he got a 2-year deal.
I mean, Dave, he earned it last year.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. Oh, definitely LVE earned it. I mean, my God, he was all over the field. But his neck issue still concerns me, though.
Mm-hmm. Now, Dave, I put up here my projected starters. Looking at it this way, I think LVE starts the season.
No doubt.
The one name that I want to talk about right behind him is Damon Clark. I think LVE needs to be looking over his shoulder because Damon Clark is nasty.
This kid's on a mission. He
is.
Yes.
I think he's going to be looking over. LVE is going to be looking over his shoulder and say, "Damn, there's my replacement." Yeah. So. You better do what you did last year because your replacement is right behind you.
And don't forget about Jabril Cox, too. He's sitting out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jabril Cox, I think he got a bum deal last year, if I remember correctly.
Joe says, Dallas and Philly are headed for a big-time battle this year. Your season depends on how Dak plays. 100%. That and that offensive line. The offensive line keeping him upright and he stays healthy. I think the Eagles I have at the top of the class. I really do. Maybe by one.
How can you not have them up top? I mean, they're just from top to bottom. My God, the roster's sick.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. We keep it real here. I think the Eagles are ahead of the class, even maybe mostly in the NFC also. I'm not going to lie. And
it's just so funny. Like, and we've said this before of the NFC East. Nobody has repeated this division since 2002.
And you know what, Dave? Going to that real quick before we get done with the line here. That's kind of crazy because you look on paper, Dave. The teams that we've had in the NFC East, even our team, even the Giants team, they were stacked, and no one's repeated. That tells me something. If the Eagles don't repeat this year. It's something in the NFC that like there's a jinx out there, Dave. Like
it was funny. I was watching. It's not to cut you off, but I was watching the Talking Heads today, and they had the Cowboys winning the division.
I think a lot of people read into that juju too much. Like the Madden curse, like he's on the Madden cover, he's going to suck this year. I think it's like they should do one like the NFC East cover. They should put this team on there because they're not going to repeat. Like it's funny, Dave. I'm a betting person, and actually I went on DraftKings about a week ago just for the shits and giggles and looking at it. Didn't place the bet though. They had the Cowboys ahead of the Eagles because of that. Like there was a rumor saying nobody's going to repeat, and it was very small. It was like plus 150, plus 175, whatever, for the Eagles and Cowboys to win the division. But I think there's too much laying into that because the Eagles don't win this year. There's a problem.
There's definitely an issue. Definitely.
But let's get back into it.
Did you say? But I'm not a scheduled person. I'm really not a scheduled person. But they go through a gauntlet, and there's I think for week 12 to 15 or something like that. Or
definitely. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, which we'll do a schedule release later on in the season.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about that. It's too early. Way too early.
Right now I got projected 17-0, but that could change later on. We're early.
Right.
Dave, let's talk about this one guy, Dave. In the draft coming 3 years ago, Jabril Cox. Okay. He can't stay healthy, Dave.
That's his issue. I'm telling you, this guy's getting a bum rap. I mean, he's always injured all the time.
Well, he was injured in college, Dave. When he came out of LSU, he was projected, top 3 linebacker coming out of LSU that year. But Dave, he couldn't stay healthy. He couldn't stay healthy. And that's his MO. He's not healthy.
Well, I mean, because Great player though.
Now I'm speculating that he comes back healthy, so I put him on the outside, right behind Micah Parsons, on
Right.
that side there, that strong side. But Dave, if he comes back healthy, I'm okay with it because we're
Yeah.
very limited at linebacker here, Dave. We really are. You got Malik Jefferson, not the greatest candidate. Devin Harper, not a great
Yeah.
candidate as well. But
Mhm. Yep.
Dave, I don't
And
know.
yeah, Damone Clark, definitely. I mean, that's another one that like I said, our linebackers are between Clark, Van Der Esch, Harper. I mean, it's going to be and especially well. That's the thing. I was going to ask you: is Micah Parsons going to play on the edge, or is he going to play linebacker? What's he doing? I don't even know.
He's moving to the edge. He's moving to the edge. He's going to be the right defensive end.
That's what I thought.
He's moving. That's why I didn't put him on the list here. But Dave, I'm gonna. How I said, this year I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say screw it. I'm going to say it. Cowboys are going to have 3,000-yard receivers. Okay. I am going to make another bold prediction on this defensive side.
Oh, here we go. Another prediction.
I'll wait till we're done with the defense, but remind me because I get old. Remind me to come up with.
I will definitely remind you. Yeah.
Okay, Dave. Let's talk about it. I'm not even. Let's talk about DeMarvin Overshown, the steal of the draft.
It's funny you should say that because a friend of mine texted me not after. I guess it was like a day or two after the draft when we drafted him. He's like, "You got that kid Overshown. He's really good." I was like, "Okay, I'm excited. Let's go." But he's a college guy, just like you are. So I didn't know much about it.
Remember when we had Steve on the show about 4 weeks ago, and
right.
I said this name, and he's like, "Goodness gracious, this kid is insane. He's projected on so many boards. He's gonna go. If he get him, it's like heaven." And we got him.
Right.
I had him going to the Cowboys, and thank God we got him, Dave.
Yeah, we got him.
But Dave, let's real quick. I know we're getting into it here. Let's talk about this defensive line. This defensive line is, I want to say, I don't want to curse, but this defensive line is freaking nasty.
You're not kidding. Dave, is D-Law going to be healthy?
That's the thing. Now, Dave, I'm going to say, we're going to speculate everybody being healthy here. Okay, that's all we can assume. We can assume everybody's going to be healthy. But Dave, let's talk about DeMarcus Lawrence. You go out and get Mozzie Smith, another 350-pound, old school nose tackle that can move over to the D spot. Okay?
I'm hoping this kid's a real deal because he was the first pick.
I think he's going to be nasty. I really love this kid. Then you got Odigizua, which is nasty as well.
I love Odigizua.
Then Dave, you got Micah Parsons moving to that outside edge, Dave.
See, you keep saying that, but I keep hearing Dan Quinn saying he's going to stay at linebacker. So I
think he's going to play both, Dave. I think
I'm so confused on this. I don't know what he's doing.
No, I think he's going to move to the edge a little bit more. I think it's going to be like a 50-50 count, honestly, because think about it. With the reason why I'm saying this, Dave. Okay, if you look at the linebackers, the right side, Overshown has always played the right side.
Right.
Okay? Overshown is a pass rusher too. Speed, power, bull rush, stunt, twist. He has the whole package. What better way to put Parsons on the edge, Overshown over the top? That to me is going to be like you know what? Pick your poison. You want to let Parsons bum rush you? Okay, you're going to demand double team. Overshown, take the stunt, take the twist, go right in the backfield.
Yeah.
And the great thing is he can pass cover too. If Parsons drops a little bit, goes back to the linebacker position, Overshown could cover a corner. I mean, a wide receiver. He's that damn good.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just, like I said, I don't know what I'm just confused with Parsons right now. I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's still up in the air, but I think it's a great move. I think it's going to be a 50-50. I don't think he's going to be, solid defensive end 100%. I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be a game management situation where, if they're running the ball, maybe he's going to go to the edge. Maybe if they're throwing the ball, he might just go to the linebacker to get that stunt twist. We don't know. I think it's going to be a game-to-game decision. A philosophy of who we play, what we play.
I have faith in Dan Quinn. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Oh, I do too. But Dave, we didn't even get about the backups here real quick, Dave. We didn't get the back. Sam Williams, I think he's a baby Micah Parsons.
Sam Williams is a beast, man. That kid is for real. I mean, last year I saw flashes of him last season. Man, I was impressed. I got to be honest.
Now, all his legal issues are gone, which we talked about last year. His legal issues are gone, so he has nothing to worry about. He's coming fresh in. No injuries this year, playing great. So I think he's going to be projected. Great depth rotation behind DeMarcus Lawrence because we know DeMarcus Lawrence gets hurt. We know that. Okay.
D-Law always gets hurt.
Yeah. But Dave, let's talk about these backups. 3 backups that I can't talk enough about. Jonathan Hankins, Nevin Gilmore, and Dorrance Armstrong. Dave, these are 3 starters right here. These are 3 starters as their backup.
Neville's definitely a starter. I mean, Hankins, he came from the Raiders, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah,
Last
so
year
I
pickup
thought,
from the
yeah,
Raiders.
big. Did he? But he got hurt that season. Did he get
He got
hurt?
hurt in the late season. He got hurt in the late
Yeah, I
season,
thought he
but
did. Yeah.
not projecting everybody to come back healthy. A big body. I mean, you got Dave. This is like a NASCAR to me. You got 4 starters, of course: Lawrence, Mozzie, Odigi, and Parsons.
Yeah.
Parsons definitely the field. We know that, but
Yeah.
God, you could bring in Williams to take over Lawrence. You could take Hankins to take Mozzie, and
Yeah.
Gallimore to take Odigi Zua.
A lot of options, that's for
And then
sure.
you got Bohanna too. Bohanna played a
Yeah, yeah.
Dave, the rotation's nasty. I mean, we got 7 guys that rotate this defensive line in.
I know.
I love it. I really do.
Don't forget about Dante Fowler over there.
Which I have over there. Yeah, I think I put him last over there, because he is a name, household name. So, what better way to Dan Quinn and say, hey, I know what you are. I'll find a place for the system for you. But
another former Falcon, if I'm not mistaken.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
On the championship team. Not championship, but 27.
27, yep.
25-point loss team. But he was there. But Dave, here's my bold prediction. Okay.
Right.
You know what? I don't know what's in my drink over here. I don't know what the hell's in my drink.
Yeah, what are you drinking today?
I don't know. It's like some kind of I don't even know.
I got the iced tea going. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know what that is. I don't want to bottle that up and give it to anybody because I'm making some crazy bold predictions tonight.
Yes, you are. Tonight you are. Yeah.
But Dave, really, was it crazy that I said 3,000-yard receivers? Is that crazy?
I think it is. I mean, if I had to go, I would go 2 out of 3. But okay.
Okay, I feel like I'm on a Football Sunday with Mooch and Urban. My bold prediction. I probably get laughed at for that one, but I feel good about this one.
Cooks and Lamb, I'm not so sure about Gallup, but go ahead.
You know what? That's the one, Dave. That's like I don't know if I should have said that, but I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you one on defense here, Dave. Okay.
I mean, Gallup is a baby at this point. I don't think he's really a.
Dave, I have a defensive rookie of the year coming from the Dallas Cowboys this year.
You do?
I have Demarion Overshown being rookie of the year.
You know, I knew you were going to say that. I called that. I saw that.
Dave, I just love this kid so much playing. Like, I'm not a big Texas fan watching this kid play, but Dave,
this kid's for real.
Game, I had to watch this kid play, And I'll tell you what, there was something that I read on, I forgot what magazine it was read. I didn't read magazines. I seen it online, actually. But he was talking about, what's his name? Bijan Robinson that played, at Texas. Bijan Robinson. He said that this is coming from Robinson. He's like, I've never been stood up at the line of scrimmage so many times by one person, and his name is Demarion Overshown.
Yeah.
He's like, this guy is probably going to be the best player in the NFL for years. And you match him up with Micah Parsons, look out. He's like, I hope we don't play them, is what he said.
Well, hey,
that's coming from, a nasty running back in Bijan Robinson. But listen, if he pans out, I'm going to say it, rookie of the year. Hell, last year we had Deron Bland finish 3rd. Nobody knew who the hell he was.
And it's funny, if you remember when we picked Nazi Smith, Mr. Parsons was very excited about that pick. So
yeah, and that's something, a Penn State guy, Craven, Michigan guy. That's something you don't.
Dad didn't let me down. Way to go. We got, he was pumped up.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he even showed the text. He's like, read it. Hey, listen, man. That's just like me saying, I want the Eagles to get this guy. No, I don't want the Eagles to get this guy. And that's just like, Parsons being Penn State and, him being a Michigan guy. That they don't fit well together, Dave.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
But man, Dave, I'll tell you what, man. Let's just flip this back over here real quick. Let's go back to our regular screen here to finish this.
There we go.
Dave, real quick. I know we're going a little bit over here. You got about 5-10 minutes?
Sure.
All right, sure. Dave. We're going to have a little fun here. It's just me and you tonight.
Here we go.
Matt will be back in about 4 weeks. He's doing a little bowling action still, so we give him. Time
is he still bowling?
He is. He might leave us and become a professional bowler, but we hope not. But we need our bodyguard, the Tower of Power.
The professional bowler, the Tower of Power. Yes. Great.
But Dave, let's have a little fun here. Next week we'll do defense, Dave. Let's do the offense tonight, okay? Dave,
gotcha.
I've been a Cowboy fan since '77. The first person I met was Roger Staubach, in Oxnard, California. I was young. I was 6 years old. I couldn't give a damn, Dave, honestly. I wanted to go to Disneyland. That's all I cared. So I'm not going to say, I'm not going to go back that far. But
you wanted to see Mickey. We understand.
I want to go see Mickey. I'll tell you a story, Dave. A lot of people, you know this. I told you many times. Yep. My dad was in the military, and we were at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. So we drove all the way across country to Disneyland, where my dad used to live in 29 Palms, where it's actually Stacy's, from too as well.
Yes.
But we drove all the way back just before Stacy time. I didn't even know Stacy, But we drove back there, and my dad took a U-turn to go to Oxnard, California. And I'm wondering, like, okay, little kid, 6 years old, backseat dad. When are we going to get there? When's Disney? Where's Disney? But he took the U-turn and went there. And my mom went to her friend's house, being Japanese. She had a lot of friends in California. Went there. Me and my dad went to Oxnard, California, in the middle of the heat. I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember there was one Polaroid that I have. It was with me, my dad, and Roger Staubach.
It's awesome.
And I
That's
remember
awesome.
the only thing I remember, he was like, "Are you a Cowboy fan?" I was like, "No, I want to go to Disneyland." That's all I remember, Dave. That's all I cared about was Disney. Mhm. But
Mickey and Donald over Roger.
That's it. I mean, I didn't know who
Mickey and Donald over Roger. That's hysterical.
I didn't know who Roger Staubach was.
Nah,
but,
why would you?
But I mean, I always stood a Cowboys fan ever since. I've never changed teams. So
there you go.
I have to have. I'll go first, Dave. I have to have Roger Staubach because of what he did for the team. Okay, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to my days, Dave. I'm gonna make it to my days. Okay.
Okay.
I want to say from the '90s is really when I first started watching. I want to say '86 to and above to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put Roger Staubach in there, but a lot of people are probably going to laugh at me, but I'm not going to go there, Dave. I'm not going to say his name. I'm going to go Troy Aikman.
Go Troy.
Yep. Who do you have at quarterback?
My quarterback has definitely got to be Aikman. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
But when I was a kid, my quarterback was Danny White at the time.
Ooh, number 11.
I was a big Danny White fan. I really was. The only reason I like Danny White so much because not only was he a quarterback, he was a punter too.
I still remember that one time. I was like, I remember watching that one game, Dave. It was like fourth down. It was like 4th and 13, and he dropped back like he was in the shotgun, and he kicked the ball, and I was like, Dad, is that legal?
Yeah. Danny was a punter.
It was a nice pooch punt too, all the way down. Got great field position. I remember that.
It's so funny. I think I told you the story before, but it was a Christmas. I think I was 10 or 11.
Yes, but the jersey.
Yeah, my mom got me a jersey, and I opened the present up, and it had number 11 on it, but it was a Phil Simms jersey. It wasn't Danny White. But what are you gonna do? It's kind of funny how it worked out. But
that's when you say like, "Oh, what I've always wanted."
And my mom was like, "Oh my God, I got the wrong jersey." I'm like, "Yeah, you did, but it was fine."
It's a little different blue and a totally different name.
Same number though. Same number. That's the whole thing. She was 1 out of 2.
There you go. You can't knock the thought, Dave. You can't.
But like I said, my quarterback is definitely Aikman. I love Troy. Okay. Actually, Mr. Oklahoma before he went to UCLA.
Yes, he was
because he was injured before he got injured. I think it was But Troy to me was just. I mean, his rookie year he went 1-15. And it was just it was a nightmare. But then again, he was changing coaches too, from Landry to Johnson. It was, I mean, that whole thing was that 89-90 Cowboy year, then with 92-3-5, the dynasty years. I mean, Troy was just Troy. I mean. And believe me, he took a beating from those Eagles, man. Let me tell you.
That's the thing, Dave. A lot of people, they look at us being Cowboys fans like, oh, they're bandwagons. Well, once again, just like you said, Dave, that 90 season, 91, 92 season, if you were down for that and you remember that, don't ever call us a bandwagon fan.
My 89 freshman year, I mean, they went 1-15 my 89 season. Yeah. And I remember I would walk into high school with a Herschel Walker jersey on and be like, what are you doing that? Herschel was my man. I mean, he came out from the USFL. He was a Washington General, the whole 9 yards, if you don't know the story by now. But it was just like it was Herschel, man. Herschel and Tony was on his way out at the time. So it was Herschel and Dorsett. And then when Dorsett left, he went to Miami, I think it was, or Denver, or one of those teams. But I think it was Miami. I could be wrong.
That? Who?
Dorsett. When Dorsett left the Cowboys, I think he went to Miami or I think maybe it was Denver. It might have been Denver. But and that's when Herschel took over.
Well, I'll tell you what about Herschel. One thing I'll say about Herschel real quick before we move on to the running back position here. Speaking of running backs, I just want to say thank you, Herschel Walker, for going to Minnesota and giving us what we got in return. Okay?
That was the best. That was the best move.
Best trade in history. That started the franchise, the dynasty of the Dallas Cowboys, right there.
It did.
Did right there, 100%. So in my way, thank you, Herschel, as well. Okay.
And Landry will always be my coach. It doesn't matter.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was going to throw in a coach too, Landry, of course, but I'm going to give Jimmy Johnson a nod too because.
Oh, I love Jimmy. Don't get me wrong, Mr. Miami himself. Yep.
Let's go running back here, Dave.
Running back.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Well, it's obvious. Herschel Walker to me.
What?
I mean, it's Herschel. I mean, I love Emmett. Don't get me wrong. I do. I love Emmett. But Herschel was my favorite. He just was. But like I said, Emmett, hands down. no doubt
Okay,
about it.
okay.
But
I was just going to freeze here with that reaction
no,
for a
no, no, no,
second.
no, 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 no. But I was a Herschel guy. I just was.
No, no, I get that. I
You
get
know,
that. I get
I
that.
was
Yeah.
a Herschel guy. 34 was
Mhm.
my man. But
Mhm.
actually, honestly, you want to go back. Tony Dorsett. I mean,
Yeah, I growing up watching,
we'll
he
call
was
it.
too. Yeah, he was before
You know,
my time too. So I don't want
TD
to call
was
him.
my man too. I love TD. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
out of Pittsburgh, how could you not
Mhm.
love Tony Dorsett?
I'll tell you
But
what, I have to go Emmitt Smith as well. Of course, I have to go Emmitt
right.
Smith. You know, that size was that offensive line, but I give a
Oh,
lot of credit to the
sure.
offensive line as well. But Dave, I'll tell you, one guy, just like you said, Herschel Walker being your fandom, you know, your favorite player.
He was
Mine was a player that actually have his thing right down there, Julius Jones. I loved him because
number
he came out of
21. Another
he came out of
21 guy.
he came out of Notre Dame. So I
Yeah.
love this kid playing. You know, I'm like, he didn't pan out to what we wanted, of
No,
course,
not
but
what we thought he was going to be.
no, he's not even in my top 8, probably maybe
No.
top 10 in Dallas, but running
Mhm.
backs. But he never
Yeah,
panned out.
but you know what's funny about Julius Jones? I mean, when I had softball games on Sunday mornings, everybody was like, "Oh, who you put in your fantasy lineup?" Julius Jones was like top on everybody's line. You know, I got
Yeah.
Double J. I'm like, well, you know,
Well, I mean, you remember the days where he had Marion Barber too. That connection
sure,
right there.
yeah,
That was really like the Eagles had Thunder and Lightning with
yeah.
Garner
It was
and whatever
Gardner
his name was.
and who was it? Charlie
Was
Gardner
Charlie Garner,
and
someone else. I forgot who it was.
I forget
I
who
know
it
with Charlie
was.
Garner and was it
Was it Westbrook?
Ricky Waters? No, I forgot who the
No,
hell it was.
no, it wasn't West. No,
I forgot. I
I
forgot.
don't remember
Charlie
off the top of my
Garner
head.
and I don't know who the hell it was, but that was
It
our
wasn't
Thunder and
West. It
Lightning.
wasn't Westbrook, was it?
I don't think I don't know who it was. I remember Thunder and Lightning, but that was my coin. Thunder and Lightning going to Dallas. Barber and Julius Jones.
Julius
So they,
Jones. Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go tight end here, Dave.
Oh, tight end, Jason Witten.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even a question.
My 2 favorite players all time in NFL history are Jason Witten and Peyton Manning. These 2
Yeah,
stand for what the
yeah.
game's about. I love these 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's what they stand for on the field and what they do off the field.
I love
Will never go.
Jason. Jason was
I
just
love,
amazing.
even though I lost so much respect, I actually, Dave, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a grown ass man, but I actually cried when he went to Oakland.
I did too. I was upset about it.
I actually cried, Dave. I actually shed some tears. I really
I
did.
didn't cry about it, but I was. But
I
you
did.
know, but his career was over at that point. We knew it was.
Dave,
It was
that
done.
brings me back to the Emmitt Smith days. Okay, you wanted the rushing title so bad, you got it, but you moved on because you went to
He went
Arizona.
to Arizona. Yeah, I mean,
It hurt me. It really hurt me.
it hurt me too. But their careers were over at that point. It didn't matter.
Very true. All right, let's go. Let's go here, Dave. Let's talk about why.
And Witten will always be known as the catch against the Eagles when his helmet fell off. That was
beautiful. I think I have that.
Yeah, that if you go into Dallas into the Star,
it is.
They have a big frame when you walk in. Yes, it's huge.
The sweat falling off the head,
Yeah,
the blood, everything.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Let's get into wide receivers here.
Wide receivers. Wow.
How about we go 3 wide receivers?
Okay, I'm going to go Michael Irvin 1.
I have him as well.
Absolutely. I'm going to go. Oh God, there's so many good ones we had.
I'm going to stay with my time. I'm going to stay with my time.
Your time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to go Tony Hill 2.
Calvin Hill.
No, Tony Hill.
Okay.
Tony Hill was back in the 80s with.
Oh, you're going back that far? Okay.
Yeah, I went back that far. Yeah, Tony Hill.
Agree.
Tony Hill. We're going to go Michael Irvin, and I'm going to say. I'll say CeeDee Lamb.
Wow, you got 2 88s in there. I thought you were going to go 3 with Drew Pearson.
Nah, I didn't know much. I mean, like I said, Pearson was before my time.
Exactly.
I can't go can't go there.
Okay.
But definitely Irvin. I'll say Irvin. Like I said, Tony Hill, and I'll say definitely CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
My 3.
Wow. This may surprise you, Dave, but
Go ahead.
I'm going to go triple 88s.
Say it again. I lost you.
Triple 88s.
You're breaking up.
Are you there, Dave? You're frozen on my screen.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Oh, Dave, you're frozen on my screen. Are you there?
Now you were frozen on mine. I couldn't hear you.
I'm gonna surprise you. I'm gonna go triple 88s here. Of course, I'm gonna go Michael Irvin. You can't go wrong with that. The playmaker.
Right. Exactly.
I'm gonna go with my boy.
Dez. Yeah, I love.
I have to go Dez. I mean, his career got shit canned a little bit, with bullshit and coaches and play calling. And then I'm gonna go CeeDee Lamb. Of course, Dave, it's a different genre of football. Of course, we understand that, but still, these 3 to me are above what they stand for in the game on the field. I can't go wrong with these guys. I really can't. I love these guys.
If I had to do a wild card wide receiver, and I know he's not one of the greatest, but people did love him. Terrence Williams was one of my favorites too.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was a big Terrence
Steamboat,
Williams
number
fan.
83. Oh, I
Hmm.
actually have his
Yeah.
jersey too. Yeah.
And it's, in fact, if you remember correctly, Terrence Williams was the last catch that Tony Romo threw to
I did
in
not
the
know
end
that.
zone against the Eagles. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
His last touchdown pass was to Terrence Williams. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
Man, these names bring back memories of,
I'm
like,
telling you, yeah. T. Will,
so
remember that? And Terrence Williams, his catch against Green Bay sticks in my mind. Like that when he caught that
Mhm.
ball around in Lambeau Field, that was
Exactly.
amazing,
Exactly.
amazing. But
Well, listen, Dave, before we get out of here, let's read some of our sponsors. Dave, you want to read one of them for us?
sure.
All right. How about you do this one for us real quick, Dave?
Hey, Monkey Cold Coffee. Use the promo code Out of the Box Sports at MondayColdCoffee.com and check out while owner Matt donates. Is that his name? 10% off
Yeah,
each sale to the National Pediatric Foundation,
mhm,
nationalapcf.org.
definitely. Yeah,
And
give him a jingle out there. We're great sponsors with Matt. I actually just talked to him today. He actually, good news. He actually has a wrestler going to be hopping on your show. So, Dave, real quick. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know June 16th is a special day at my house, but
it's somebody's birthday, but I don't know
it
anything about
is. But
that.
you know what? Screw the birthday. What do we have going on June 16th,
The
Dave?
Atomic Drop Podcast coming your way, June 16th, 10:30. Me and the big man from the Big Bat Cave, Ken Fry, going to be kicking it out, old school wrestling. Hope you guys can join us June 16th, 10:30 p.m. Friday night, and we'll be ready to roll. Like I said, the atomic bomb is coming at you, baby.
Oh my God! So it's going to be the best damn show in its time slot.
Well,
Is what I'm hearing.
according to Sully, it's the atomic wedgie, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking like, listen, if you don't watch, we're going to give you a wedgie, because if you don't watch that show, you're going to get the wedgie, and I'll guarantee that myself. But if you know what, if you're in need of a lawyer, give my buddy Jason Fine a call. Hey, Attorney Big Al. Motor vehicle slip and fall, workman's comp, personal injury claims, call Jason directly, 267-962-4895. Or listen, if you're in my area, the Pittsburgh, Altoona, Cambria County area, give me a call, 267-303-7324 for a free consultation. Cherry Hill, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, we got you covered in all categories. Make sure you told them the 215 boys sent you. Give me a call anytime, and I promise you, all the other lawyers out there, 40, 50%. I guarantee you, I'm going to throw a number out there, 33 and a third percent.
There you
Guarantee.
go. There you go.
Guarantee.
Yeah, go see Mr. Jason Fine, aka Big Al.
Yep. And last but not least, this one goes to our heart here. This is Ken Fry's team. He's one of the coaches there and one of the sponsors there of Not Your Average James. His daughter plays on there in our travel softball league. Dave, as you know, the cost is so tremendous out there. You can't, it's like a mortgage on some of these trips as well.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding.
Well, listen, if you can, reach out to them. $1, $5, whatever you can goes a long way to these kids. They're great kids. They play hard, and they know the meaning of games here. What it is it's family first, and Ken's family members from the Bat Cave, Vegas sports scene. So reach out to Ken Fine directly. Donate what you can. We really appreciate it. It goes a long way for saying, part of our family here. So, hey, Dave, real quick, I know we always do this. What's your final thoughts real quick?
Final thoughts. Wow. Everybody, I know it's still baseball season, and I understand where everybody's in the baseball mode, but football's around the corner, guys. It's not far away. And the season, like OTAs, is coming around the corner, and training will be here. July will be here before you know it, and we'll be ready for Cowboy Nation to get started. So everybody, just enjoy, relax, enjoy the summer, and football's on its way.
Yeah, Dave, it's June 1st here coming up. So we have June and July. July really starts, the football OTAs coming up. So pre-OTAs, August it really starts in preseason. So God, man, 5 more weeks, Dave. We can actually talk about, what we see at the practice field here coming up.
It's insane. And I just hope, like I said, hope everybody's I know school's gonna end soon for your kids, and keep your kids healthy and have a great summer with everybody, because it's coming. And Memorial Weekend, enjoy your weekend too, Memorial Day.
Exactly. My final thoughts, exactly. I hope we stay healthy here. Tyron Smith, do not fall at the practice field. Do not fall out the bathroom. Whatever you do, stay healthy. We need you. Continue this ride, and let's stay healthy, because as I did my starting lineup, I think projections, if we stay healthy and play our game, I think we're a solid top 3 team in the NFC. NFC, yes. NFC,
totally
I said
agree.
the entire NFC. So, hey, listen, I think we can be well. I think we can do good this year. I'm not going to project any records this year, so maybe we'll do that maybe in July sometime, Dave.
I think July's a good time.
Yep.
Yeah.
But before we get out of here, guys, please check out all of our shows here. We have something for everybody. We have it from NFC East. We have all these shows. We have a wrestling show coming up here. I didn't put the new schedule out. It's so much to add to the schedule, but guys, check us out. Every night we have something except for Sundays. But I promise you, coming up in August and September, you see 11 shows. Guys, we're going to be up to 16 shows in September.
Wow, that's a lot.
13 shows in September, Dave. And
Good.
guys, you know, we're NFC guys here. And guess what? We have the Commanders Gridiron. And I'm going to drop the time. It's going to be on Wednesday nights at 6:30. Our slot, Dave, because we're moving to 9:30 on Wednesday nights.
So we're
going to have the Commanders come in.
We're leaving our slot time? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna give it to the Commanders. Sean's a great guy. He's gonna come in here and give us his Commander look, and we'll be on at 9:30. So, guys, man, we got this. We got this schedule totally lined up here, man.
We're rolling here out of the box, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Last comment, we have Bay Scotty saying hi. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Bay Scotty, how are you?
If you got time, real quick, let us know who your team is. We appreciate everybody.
Yeah, we're always open to see whose team you would like, and
definitely, we're here for everybody. We love viewerships. That's what we like to do. For the viewers that chimed in, we had 13 live viewers at one point. So, okay, guys, if you're out there, say hello. Don't be scared. Say hi.
We want to hear what you got to say. Join us.
And we don't even know who's watching out there, but we know a lot of people do watch us, even though the names don't pop up. We know that.
They know. They're watching. That's for sure.
You already know that.
We know who's watching.
Are you ready to get out of here, brother?
I'm ready to roll. Yeah, it's called a night.
Definitely. So, guys, we'll be back next week, and we'll talk about some more, OTAs, a little bit more. Maybe we'll get into special teams next week, Dave. We can talk about a little bit of that. And also we can go to how about we give our defensive side all time. What do you think about that?
I'm okay with that. Sure.
And then how about we throw this one, Dave? Best team in history in our division. How about we put in our team plus let's go best game all time in our division that you remember.
Best game all time in our division.
Yeah, that you stand out.
Wow. There's a lot of good games out there. I don't know if I could.
We might have a 3-hour show. We might have a 3-hour show.
Oh my gosh, we'll be here forever doing that.
Yes. All right, Dave, so let's get out of here. Cowboy Nation is about to get out of here. We will be back next Wednesday, same time, 6:30. And make sure you follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. So, guys, for myself, Paul Spencer, and, of course, my main man on the side here,
Cowboy Dave.
You already know, Cowboy Nation will be back next Wednesday night. We'll see you then. And until then, have a great night, Cowboys.
Go, boys, go.
You already know.